All right. Hey, folks, it's Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Time to get this show started. Let's go. Well, good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show this morning. Um, this is it's been a windy day here in Vegas. We're going to talk a little bit about that today because it's the weather in Vegas right now is just kind of crazy, and we normally have wonderful weather here. But I want to welcome you all to the show today. Welcome all of our friends and family on Facebook, on YouTube, and especially if you're on YouTube. If you've been on YouTube and you've been on with us probably the longest of anybody, I want to welcome you back to the show. Thank you for being so loyal. Being a part of the show for so long, and thank you all for being a part of the Vegas Nation. So, if you're joining us on Facebook, you can actually check out our Facebook page. We've got a couple of different feeds. We've got two Livin in Vegas feeds. One for our business page, Livin in Vegas Mag, and one in Livin in Vegas, the group. And then we also have a page which is up, and it's called Livin Weekly. So, and we'll talk a little bit about Livin Weekly a little bit more. So I'm just up right. And if you're on those Facebook pages, those are generally the ones I can see in the mornings. So I'm going to open up those pages right now. You probably heard me clicking, and those are up right now. So I can actually see if you're on those pages and you'd like to chime in during the show. Definitely can. I'll be able to see your questions. I don't know how quickly I'll be able to get back to them, but I will get to them pretty quick. I want to welcome a friend of mine. He is gosh, I forgot the guy's name now. Oh shoot, we went to an event recently for Livin in Vegas. One of our it's a happy hour that we sponsor, and gentleman walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, Sherm, I want to say that I watch your show, which is cool. I'm very excited about that. Thank you so much in the morning." And because we never know who's going to be watching, but we do know people do watch us quite regularly. And he said that he liked the show, and I went, "Oh, thank you so much." And then he went to tell me why he liked the show, which you generally don't get that too much. But one of the things he said is that because when I screw up something, it's kind of a funny way to say it. He didn't say it this way, but this is what he meant. When I screw up something, I will correct it during the show, is what he was saying. So, like, if my camera's not right, I'll stop and I'll fix it. Or if I've got a piece of paper that I'm missing, you'll hear me squishing it around or something like that. And he said he liked that because it's real. And I go, well, yeah, I appreciate that because, we are, now when we get in the studio and we start producing our show, because we are going to be producing a show that it'll be much more professional, I hope. but but until then, we're probably just gonna, we're just gonna have some fun. And so these are those early days, kind of like before Amazon became, the global giant that it is right now. I'm sure that whatever the guy's name is, forgot the guy's name now. The owner of Amazon. Well, when he was the richest guy in the world, you'd probably pay attention to him more. But now he's not. Now it's Elon Musk. You don't even know the guy's name. Yeah, I'm sure when he first started Amazon, he was very laid back. He wore the T-shirts, probably had hair on his head at the time, and that kind of stuff. So let's talk a little bit about the magazine, Livin in Vegas magazine. Thank you so much, folks. It's already out. It's getting great reviews by people. We actually got an email from this couple right here, Greg and Kristen Berta. They are the owners of Junk Luggers, and they said how much they have gotten so many calls, and they've gotten so much. They're so excited. I wish I could. I'm going to read it tomorrow. How excited they are that they were a part of this show or a part of the magazine, and because nothing beats advertising. I mean, it really doesn't. Nothing beats being on the front cover of a magazine. Nothing beats having your name out there all the time. And so, that's very cool. I'm very excited about that. So thank you for investing in your own company and in our product and our ability to get it out for you too. So, um, and you can actually thumb through the magazine, which is real cool. They've got a lot of cool articles throughout the magazine. Just go to our website and just go to livinvegas.com, and you can actually check out the magazine. And there's so many cool things on the magazine that you can actually check out. A lot of advertisers that are in there. Really want you to reach out to. As a matter of fact, there's one that, gosh, she actually wrote an article for us. I think her name is Belorma, and she is over at. Oh gosh, I can see it in front of my face right now. I'll try to remember this. Maybe I should just go to the website on my other computer here. And Belorma is. I'm going to live in Vegas right now. So if you want, you can go with me right now if you'd like to also. All I got to do is go down the page just a little bit. And it says read the issue. On the sidebar, it says read the issue. And you go to the page, and when it comes up, oh, we've got to fix that link because it's not coming up for some reason. When it comes up, the in the first section, it will actually tell you. For some reason, I don't know why that didn't come up. It'll tell you some of the writers in it, and Belorma is the company that she works for. I'm going to find it now because I didn't actually put it on the front of the magazine. But she works over at one of the hairstyling places here, or she's actually an esthetician. So she does facials and stuff like that, which is really cool. And so you can actually read about her. There's an article on getting that summer body, which of course I'm very svelte. So, there's so many cool things here in the magazine, and I'd really encourage you to go check it out. It looks good. It feels good. It's got great stuff in it. And I'm trying to stall actually as I'm writing. Okay, Belorma. And Belorma, actually, Lifetime. Lifetime Life and Spa. Okay. So she actually is at Lifetime, which is really cool. And you can actually read the article that she's got on there. You can blow up the whole thing and actually read it. So it's Belorma, and I'm going to kill her. I'm going to destroy your name, Belorma. So it's Zorid Kahayag. Okay, so she's got an Instagram page at Skincare by BZ. Okay, Instacare or Instagram Skincare by BZ. So she's at Lifetime Life Spa. Gives all of her information there on the page. You can actually read it. I mean, you can just blow it all up and stuff like that, and you can actually read the whole story, which is really just you can't really beat that. So, anyways, we are actually having a mixer coming up next week. I'll let you know a little bit about that mixer. I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the horse trailer again. I don't quote me on that yet. We still have to verify because we have two places that we're really thinking about, and we've got to make sure that that's going to actually happen. Also tonight, the Large Vision business mixer is going to be over at Queensridge, so they're going to have an event there. So we'll be there tonight over at Queensridge to be at a Large Vision mixer, and so you can actually go to our Facebook page. We've actually been sending it out in an email also, telling you all about that event. Large Vision, for those of you who don't know who those guys are, Sylvester and Paula have just done a fantastic job for years of putting on these mixers and these expos, and they're the one that's the longest running in the valley is called Large Vision, and we've partnered with them. They're an awesome couple, so we want to give them props. We'll start putting all their stuff on all of our send outs so that you can see. They're just a great couple, and so we'll be at their event tonight, which will be very cool. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. There is a let's start in the news. So yesterday, here it is. Okay, so it's National Big Wind Day today. So for those of you who don't know, um, there are all kinds of national days, right? There's all kinds of national days. There's National Hot Dog Eating Day. There's National Porcupine Day. There's National Big Cup of Coffee Day. From time to time, we here at Livin in Vegas will talk about the national days that pertain to certain days of the week. Well, today happens to be so coincidental that it is National Big Wind Day. Now, if you've unless you slept for like the last 2 days, Vegas has had some of the highest winds ever recorded in our history. And on this day, in 1934, the Mount Washington Observatory recorded winds in excess of 231 miles per hour. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, that's crazy, right? Mount Washington is the highest peak in northeastern United States at 6,288 feet, and it's the most prominent mountain east of the Mississippi River. So they said that they had, so it's just coincidentally that we had winds yesterday, I think of at least 60 miles an hour, at least. And we get them here. And so I thought it was appropriate that we put National Wind Day on our show as our lead story as we started. Be careful, folks. I believe the winds are going to be subsiding in the next couple of hours, but they haven't yet. So be careful. It's cooler. It's windy. I've not been able to ride my bike in like 2 days now because it's so windy. I don't mind riding 10-mile-an-hour winds, 15-mile-an-hour winds, but once you get past that, it just gets to be a slog. It's just a slog. It's not fun. And so, we want you to be very careful out there and don't test it. Okay, just don't do it. Well, there was a story yesterday that we talked about Governor Sisolak. This is Governor Steve Sisolak and his lovely wife. They're actually fairly new, newlyweds. And the story has nothing to do with his wife, but I like her, and I think she's cute. So I shouldn't say she. The governor yesterday was quoted in an article in reference to the Oakland A's moving to Las Vegas and potentially how he might be able to block that move. Well, after hearing all these people talk about that he might block the move from the Oakland A's from moving from Oakland to Las Vegas, which we all pretty much believe they will do, Steve got on the horn and he told everybody, "Oh no! I would never block the A's from coming to Las Vegas." So, thank you, Governor. We really do. We actually thank you because this is probably one of the most highly anticipated moves by any franchise to the Valley. Right now, we have the Raiders. We've got the Aces, who we're going to be talking about here in just a second. We've got the Aviators. We've got the FC Lights. We have the VGK. We have all of these teams, and really, they're wonderful. There's nothing wrong with any of these teams. They're just stellar. But people want to see baseball here. They do. They want to see baseball. They want to see basketball here. And had the governor put the kibosh, and we've wrote a story about this. You can actually read it on our website at livinvegas.com. Had the governor put the kibosh, the skids, on the A's coming to Las Vegas, especially ahead of the election, I can't imagine what that would do to his chances of winning. So he's a smart guy. I mean, he really is. The governor was the one who was instrumental in bringing the Raiders here. Okay, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The stadium here. The big thing that they're trying to avoid right now is you and I, as taxpayers, paying for, even in partial, the a stadium coming here, or raising more taxes through room taxes to get the Raiders here. That's what they're trying to avoid right now. And so it's up to bigger minds than mine that will decide whether or not that's going to be something that's worth it or not. So that's kind of where we're at on this whole thing. Okay. Um, Also, so let me tell you about our magazine. So we have another magazine that's out, and it's called Livin Weekly Magazine. So Livin Weekly Magazine is out. I want to encourage you, if you have not picked up your subscription to Livin Weekly Magazine, this one's an easy one, folks. It really is. You can actually get a subscription to Livin Weekly Magazine just by sending me an email. Okay, send an email to info@livinweekly.com. info@livinweekly.com, and you can actually get a free subscription to Livin Weekly Magazine. If you already have a subscription to Livin in Vegas magazine, which comes quarterly, you already have a subscription to Livin Weekly magazine. So Livin Weekly comes out weekly. It does. It's a weekly magazine, and but we just came out with it because people were saying, "Look, we can't wait for Livin in Vegas magazine," even though they're both just fantastic. Either way, you're covered. Okay, so send us your email at info@livinweekly.com, and we will get you on there. Okay, so don't forget, folks, that this is it's always fun. It's always cool stuff. Okay, what else is going on? Let me put my title back up there. You got to put me back up there. So there's this guy. Oh gosh, did you see the story? Okay, so there's this guy. What's his name? He's a scammer. So this is the guy's face right here. So his name is Corey Sheeler, 60-year-old guy. He's facing 10 counts of theft, 10 counts of forgery and real estate transactions that began in 2016. Each count is associated with a transaction that was greater than $100,000. So the story on Mr. Sheeler is that he was going to do some flipping of properties. Okay, a lot of people do that. It's not a big deal. So a lot of people come in the valley. They say, "Hey, it's a great opportunity to flip some properties." So they buy properties and then they sell them, or they hold on to them, rent them out, that kind of stuff. I know I've got family members who've done it. I've done it myself. Many people do it. They do it every day. The problem we have, though, Mr. Sheeler, is that he duped people into he found a piece of property, said, "Yes, I want this piece of property. Oh, let me get some money from somebody else who's got the money." Okay, he got the money from the other person who said, "Yes, I will help invest in this real estate for you," and then so a normal transaction that happens all the time. But the problem is Mr. Sheeler did not. He was running basically a big Ponzi scheme. So instead of putting title in the names of all the people, all investors, he didn't do that at all. What he did is he basically just scammed their money. One guy, $2.1 million? No, 5.7. And he invested that much money in a company called EH3, 2016. And guy came back to him in 2018 and said, "Hey, where's my money at?" He knew something was wrong. And the guy goes, "Yeah, I screwed up." The investor thought he had bought 26 pieces of property, when in actuality he had 0. A big goose egg. So, make a long story short, this guy's up on some big counts and not going to be good. This is just going to not be good for him. And, crime just doesn't pay. So there was a recent story in the paper about a teenager, 16-year-old kid, who went to my old high school. Okay, I hate to even say this. Went to my old high school, El Dorado High School, who I graduated in a long time ago. And This young man went back to the classroom to talk to a teacher about his grades. The teacher lets him in the room. They start talking, and then the kid ends up trying to choke her and sexually molest her and stuff like that. He leaves the school. Teacher, somebody comes in, finds the teacher. They find the kid block away from the school, 2 blocks away from the school. Now the kid's facing a slew of charges, including 16 felonies. And his name, so they had withheld his name because they were, he was a kid. They're not going to put a kid's name no matter how heinous the crimes that he's done. But they've released his name, and this is the picture of the kid. His name is his name is Jonathan Eleuterio Martinez Garcia. 16 years old. They said that some kids were scared of this kid at school already. That he was a very scary individual, and we were going to show a big picture of him when he was much younger, but this is probably what the kid looked. This is the last picture we've seen of him. So Jonathan Garcia is probably going to. I don't know. He's got a lot of charges against him. So if proven guilty, they're going to probably throw the book at this kid and now school teachers are upset because of the fact that they have to fight for their lives every single day. Now, the big thing right now is that kids are starting to be emotionally scarred by all of the violence in school, and it's really weighing on them. Luckily, right now, kids are on spring break or on Easter break, I should say, and so they're not as exposed to all the things that the news. They might see it on the news every once in a while, but they're going to be kids that are going to be able to need to be able to speak to people. And you as parents, really encourage you to sit down with your kids, talk to them. Don't let this just slip by and not say anything to your kids about it and say, "Hey, kids, did you hear about this?" I only have one grandchild that I talk to on a regular basis about her school stuff. My other grandkids live fairly close, but I just don't get to speak to them as much about their school. So, so I do talk to her a lot about what's going on in her day, how things going, where are things going, that kind of stuff. So, it's really important that you as a parent, you as a grandparent or a caregiver are able to talk to your grandkids about stuff like this, especially now because you got a lot of violence going on in schools. We'll be right back, folks. Going to give you a little bit of word, a little bit of something that we're working on for you. Here we go. Hi, it's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Yeah, folks, and thank you so much about that. If you would like to be on the show and you've got a product, service, message that you want to talk about, we've made it very easy for you, folks. Just contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com, and you can be on the show, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in your life. We've had a few advertisers on, or a few guests on the show, talk about some really cool things that we personally love. But we know that people are coming out of the pandemic, and we want to make it so much easier for you to get your word out about your product, your service. Contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. Okay. How much time do we have left? Okay, a couple minutes left. So the Las Vegas Aces started doing their WNBA draft choices. And yes, we got some girls. So we've got You can go on our website. Excuse me. We've got links to this that we left on our Live in Vegas page that you can actually check out some of the players that we just got. Um, Number 8 pick, Maya Hollinshed. Um, she's a 3-time All Pac 12 performer, and she's a beast. Just beast mode. I love some of these picks that we've got. Um, Number 11, Kirsten Bell, 2-time winner of the Becky Hammond Mid Major Player of the Year Award. Recorded one of the best seasons in program history as a junior when she averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2.3 block shots. We love her. Okay. I'm looking really forward to some of these picks. And one more, Kayla Pointer. So Kayla Pointer, she was number 13 pick, 3-time All SEC performer, 2022 AP All American. Pointer ranked second in the SEC as a senior in both scoring and assists per game. This is going to be a good year, folks. It was a very good year. I'm looking really forward to it. And how many of you get to actually watch the Aces? I do. I mean, I love the Aces. As a matter of fact, I was just looking. So many of you know I'm a sports fanatic. I love sports. I love my Rebels. Here's my jacket. I wanted to wear my Rebel shirt. Because I know a lot of you say, "Oh, Sherman, you say you love the Rebels, but I never see you with any Rebel gear on." I actually have tons of Rebel gear. I really probably have more than I probably should have. As a matter of fact, I probably have more Rebel gear than I have regular just clothes with nothing on it. Okay, I probably have more stuff with insignias on it, that kind of stuff, because I just love them. Speaking about the Rebels, yesterday we were talking about the outdoor spaces at UNLV that they become, or that they are making UNLV smoke free. Well, they've actually added outdoor spaces on that thing too. Outdoor spaces on that list. So, taking effect October 15th, time for the fall semester. They are. This even applies to vaping. So there's no vaping, but there's a lot of places. I think we've actually got this article on our Facebook page. Or excuse me, on our website at livinvegas.com. So if you're going to be going to UNLV, folks, and many people are, you will not be able to smoke. And smoking's it's a bad habit. Anyways. I mean, I used to smoke. I smoked for years. I did. I know I was a singer and I smoked, but I thought I was cool, folks. I really did. I thought I was the coolest guy in the world. And it is what it is. So I want to remind you in the last couple minutes we've got left here. Can I do one more story? Okay, I'll do one more story. So the Running Rebels, they're going to be playing against, for the first time, program history, they're going to be playing against Dixie State at Earl Wilson. That will be Tuesday. So today. So they're going to start at about 6 o'clock. And so we're doing really good. In the Mountain West right now, the Rebels are 12-3. So they're doing awesome. They're 21-11 overall, 12-3 in our division. And we're in a dogfight right now, but we're looking great. So our baseball team, the guys' baseball team, is doing awesome. We didn't talk about it yesterday, but we did have a track meet, and we yesterday, and I think we posted most of these on our social media sites, where UNLV went into the weekend and just killed it all weekend long. So track, softball, tennis, they did a great job, and baseball. They did just a fantastic job. And so we want to continue to root for our Rebels. Okay? And I think you will love it. All right, so before we leave, folks, though, I want to remind you, Livin in Vegas magazine, it is out, folks. Don't hesitate on going to our website at livinvegas.com and picking up your copy of Livin Vegas magazine. Okay, subscribe to it. Get on our mailing list. If you get on our mailing list, send me an email at info@livinvegas, and we will actually get you all of the information you need so that you're cool. You'll be one of the cool kids. Okay, you will be. Anyways, we will see you again tomorrow, folks, for Living in Vegas magazine, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas, folks. I'm Sherman Ray, the publisher of Living in Vegas magazine. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.